This is not helpful literature.
You're not a fan of the literature?
Well,
What a good way to start. What a good opening line.
that's not. Well, it's kind of helpful.
Kind of helpful. What's in the box? There's a plug, there's a pin out. That's all you need, isn't it? Pin out. You got some high power outputs and some low power outputs, and you don't need any inputs because you're using CAN.
Sensor and 5 volts. There's 2 5 volts.
Yeah, we're not.
There's an NC. There's 2 NCs.
You're probably not going to connect those.
Wonder why. There's AD and a.
Jason, the other day we did an opening, a box opening, and I got the PDM. I was the one that opened the PDM flange. Get it, come, get it.
Are we opening it?
We're gonna open it. Hey,
Are we unboxing?
we're unboxing.
Okay.
We're unboxing
Is there an easy way to do this?
with a razor blade.
Okay.
Which one are you gonna get? It's like Christmas.
Damn
when-
it, Jason's got the
you know,
good one.
You know where it's from, eh? You know, these are Link products. This is the Link opening.
Oh.
What do you got in there?
Ooh, I got the good stuff here.
Oh.
Terminals. And a can gauge. Ooh, that's expensive. That's up there. With a G4 Xtreme.
Xtreme. He's got the Xtreme. What'd you get?
I got the Extreme as well.
What?
Good luck for you, eh? Oh, okay.
Did I order more Extremes than I meant to order? What do we got here?
Oh, accessories.
There's a monsoon and a can gauge. Take the can gauge out. What else you got? Oh, you got some can landers?
This is expensive.
That's Links. That goes in the car. Jason's going to take that to Bronwyn. It's actually going in Jesse's new seed destructor. I've got to do another John Deere with a... But Bronwyn's using it for the week. Bronwyn and Brendan are using it for the weekend.
Okay. Where are they going?
They're going racing with the little Dado.
Isn't the little dado on the dyno?
Yeah.
The little Dado's on the dyno right now.
What's it?
And
Why using that computer?
not that computer, sorry, you're not taking the monsoon, you're taking the can gauge. You've got to drop that to Bronwyn and as you go. Okay then, do I get to open this one?
There you go.
You know what's in this one, eh?
Probably the best stuff. What do we got? Oh, you got the terminals. No? Blanker plugs. What do you call me?
Oh, I got PDM.
Ooh.
I get to touch the PDM first.
What does PDM stand for?
Power Distribution Module.
Okay.
Hey Jace, those are both for your job. So you get the Extreme on this one. Oh, you got extras.
Wow.
First one I touched.
Look at that. That's cool, man. That's
So-
cool. Is it?
This is the second one we've sold, but the first one went direct to Glenn.
Yes.
So we didn't get to
Ooh.
check that out.
Woohoo.
They're small, eh?
Look
How
how
tiny it
fucking.
is.
Look how cool the box is.
You're like a cat, eh? You're like a cat. You're like,
Toddler, we can do it around the box.
no, throw the PDM away. I want the box. Would you like the box, Shay?
No, no.
They're going to play in the box.
It's pretty cool
Put
though.
some sand in it and go scratch, scratch.
I like information. Oh, what the hell's this?
It's the cover for
Oh, okay. That's. It looked like it was a scooper. For scooping.
protein shake.
There's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cable.
What other goodies you
There's the
got
plug
left
and
in there?
terminals.
All right. Do they
Here you
have
go,
a-
Shay.
Do they have a sticker like that?
You can have a box.
That's a cool box. Look at that. Those hands are like alchemist hands right now.
There we go. There's some
Oh, I
wiring.
like paperwork.
and a little bit of wiring, and it does say what size. You know,
Cool.
don't connect it up backwards. Probably.
Do it.
We're males. We probably won't read it.
That's quite cool. You can put that in a photo frame.
Oh, hey, Jason stole it. And then a little mounting bracket.
All right. Very nice.
And some terminals and some screws.
I like a link.
Oh, they've even got the little ones. They've even got the little screws for the to screw it onto there. So that actually happens to be this is the loom that it's going on.
Little.
Little.
So did I tell you that I'm catching a ride with Jason? Back to my car at 4:30.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about you to read it yet.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I've already rung them.
Oh.
So Jace, now we're competing against Glenn. So Jace is building this loom. It's going to be supercharged. 1UZ, non-VVTi. It's getting a Link Xtreme. It's getting a Razor PDM. It's getting 2 can landers. It's getting a lot of stuff. And it's probably getting a can gauge as well. It's probably going to get one of them as well. Is that the one that's going to... That's Jesse's one. No, put it in the car. So put it in Jason's special box, so I can take it with him.
Okay.
Do you want me just to go away and you have a few moments with it?
I was just seeing how the I was trying to line the bolt holes up with the brackets.
Like,
There's two lots of holes.
your gorilla hands aren't that big at the end of the day. You got your, and that is a tiny unit, isn't it?
It's quite heavy though. There's quite a bit of gravity.
There's a lot of weight there, yeah. Righto, that's. So guys, we will probably be doing a bit of a wiring video on this. Jace is already wiring it. It's heavy, eh? Got the little LEDs.
Well, it's
Yeah, about the same as an Xtreme. It might be heavier. And we'll be talking to you once we've got it up and running on this thing here. We'll do a little bit of a video and we'll talk a bit more about the Link Razor PDM. He's got a Link Xtreme. He's got a 1UZ. He's got a supercharged 1UZ and a LandCruiser. Now, this particular job's going on an all-alloy LandCruiser. The man who is doing the job got his mechanic to build a brand new body made of aluminium on his LandCruiser, and it's got a supercharged UZ in it. It's a 1UZ. And we are in charge of making the wiring work. And the man said he wanted the better computer. I didn't tell him he's getting the better computer because I was talking Storm. We ended up with an Xtreme. And then he does know we're doing a PDM. I talked to him about a PDM. And he said, can we have some sensors? And so he's getting a oil temp and pressure, fuel temp and pressure, water temp and pressure. What other temps are you doing? Oh, you're doing a temp for the intercooler bottle?
right. And 6 temps.
6 temps. 2 air temps?
Yes, 2 temps.
2 air temps.
I think it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 6.
6 temps. Plus it's getting water level sensors and a whole, so it's getting quite a lot of stuff into it. And it's getting the Razor PDM. So this is the first time we've wired a PDM. Oh, sorry. First time we've wired a Razor PDM. It's the first time Jason has wired a PDM, period. But he's got it sorted. He'll just read the instructions. Or he'll just make it up. Because that's what we do. Good. Coil and plug. It's getting a stepper motor, but it's got an idle control, but it's back here. Where's that PDM?
In the PDM box,
In the PDM box.
I think.
So this is the Link Razor PDM. Yes, I've only got little hands. Makes other things look bigger, but it makes the PDM, as you can see, it fits in my hand. It's just a little bit bigger than a cigarette packet. That's a good, oh, maybe 2 cigarette packets would it be? It's little anyway.
Not very big. Well,
Not very big. Cell phone?
it's smaller than, well, yeah. When you say it was longer than it. Not as fat though.
So the idea is no relays, no fuses, CAN communications between the Link and the PDM, and then we'll have high-powered outputs to do like the coils and the fuel pump and the fan, and then the low powers for the ECU and the injectors. We'll probably end up splitting those up, and there's an alternator fuse. Jason should be able to make it break them all down, so we've got plenty of outputs there. This is only a PDM 12, okay, so it's not a lot. Should have some really good logging abilities, but because we're using the CAN input, we're not going to be using any of the IOs, which is the low inputs, the low power outputs, sorry, as inputs. meaning that we can maximize our input outputs. We may have some spare for the customer to do some of the vehicle wiring as well. I'll put this back in the box. And Jace will come up with a plan and we'll talk to you once we've got it all wired.
Can dash on the same end?
Yeah. Have you, where did you do the join for the coils? Oh yeah, because if we had planned it earlier, we could have had left coils and right coils, couldn't we?
Could have, yes. We did.
Yeah. Well, these are lacking our planning. It's all right.
Well, when first I wasn't doing a PDM.
Okay, so the plan didn't work initially, because did Calvin change the plan?
I think Calvin changed the plan as I started wiring it, so.
Calvin may have changed the plan. Aren't we meant to make a plan and stick to the plan?
Alright, you and your plans go. When we get to here.
I'm trying to promote doing planning and then you're doing wiggly, which is completely true though.
Yes.
It's a very fluid plan. It's not concrete. Nothing concrete in our plan.
It's a very open plan.
Open, yep.
Open plan.
Open plan. I like that.
It's very much like the farm if we open.
Very spacious.
Yep.
It has the ability to change.
Yes.
Very required. Moments later, there's a loom.
A loom.
But
No, this is.
there's a loom. Just like that. There's a loom now. Look, Jason was busy. Actually, I just avoided him and it just magically appeared, which is fantastic. So
What's all wrong with it? This doesn't reach there, and the air temp goes over there, and.
that's because the throttle body's over that side, eh?
Yes. It's on a godsend tube over here with a fucking whoopie fucking
With a supercharger M90 there.
little.
Yeah, that's why it's all kind of a little bit weird. So your Jace does like air temps in different places and splices them off to go around different spots. But it'll all make sense when it goes in the vehicle.
Oh, this ambient I got plugged in. Doesn't really
Have
matter.
you got a oil pressure loom on this one or not? Do I need to make a loom? I thought I brought a loom over. I did bring a loom. Oh, look at
I don't know
that.
if it's for this one, but
It's that one.
is this for this one?
That's for this one.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I actually had looms and I had a start. Look, there's your start loom plug. It's for Sean. See, it's even marked ready. Anyway, important stuff. We're playing with the PDM. This one. And it's turned on. It's turned on because I've got it powered up to the laptop, eh?
Yep.
And I haven't powered that up yet. So that's our ignition wire. I do have Link software on here for the PDM. So if that's turned on,
That's turned on. At the moment, it's not powered up.
so if it's turned on here, if I'm powered up with the USB, can I then power up the ECU?
It should. Well, actually, going by this, it's not powered up. The ECU is not powered up.
Oh, so it's got the little lights to go on?
Yeah. So far, this wire here is powered up. That wire there's powered up right now.
The ignition for the alternator.
Yeah, alternator ignition.
Number 8.
Yep.
So
I
that's
did have the ECU powered up the other day.
alt ignition here.
I did have the ECU powered up the other day.
Yes, I would like to connect. Look, yes. I'm reading the PDM, Jace. We're in. Righto. Look, it's got stuff, it's doing stuff, it's telling me stuff. Righto, I've got my pin out for the ECU that's blank because Jason had one somewhere else. And I've got this one. This is the information I gave Jace to wire. Thanks. You use it on this page. You know when I give you a list of things and you say, can you put it in like the Link one? Mm-hmm. And then you write it in a list.
Yeah, but this has got them both on it. Right,
brief reminder, even though it hasn't been that long since you guys watched this because you were just watching before, but that was like a few days ago. Supercharged UZ, Link Xtreme, Razor PDM, 2 CAN lambdas, knock sensors. I've got to get a 3-bar knock map sensor for it. Coil on plug. It's an early non-VVTi 1UZ in a all aluminium LandCruiser. Jason and I are going to do a bit of setup of the Razor. I've had a minute play with the software at home about a month ago. Pretty much when they released it, I was in there and I didn't have the software. So as soon as they released the software, I was in there having a play. So now I'm going to do it for real. How hard can it be? It's just another bit of software, and if it's written by Link, it'll have some sort of familiarity with the other software anyway. And then we'll come back and we'll run through a few tricks, a few tips, and see if we can help some other guys out. I'm waiting. It's gonna have to prompt. Oh, there it goes. I'm just showing you here, guys. You see, I've got some voltage. I'm on the CAN wiring. There's my ignition switch. Turns off. Put it back in. And it turns back on. Plugging the PDM in to the laptop. Now I was told can we see it? 12 volts. Unplugging the ignition. That stays on. So just be really careful when you're working with your laptop. You disconnect the ignition. Some strange stuff can sometimes happen. He's claimed his bench back, so I've had to move. And I've been setting up this thing, PDM. Really, really interesting. Alright, so I've got the PDM somewhat set up. I set up the main outputs, and it's got these little lights on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 you see aren't lit up. I haven't programmed those. The high powers I haven't programmed, and 7 and 8 I haven't programmed those. No, I have programmed them, they're on. So I've got 6 outputs on. And when we turn it off, this is presently the ignition switch. See, they all go out. And we turn it back on. And it does stuff. And you can see I've got this coil disconnected. I'll show you what happens. Go have a look, guys. Come watch. Take the coil. There's your plug. So Jason's going to plug it in. And we watch output 4. Straight away it starts to flash. So it's turning off and then it's resetting. It's turning itself back on. Because it said, hey, there's a fault if you unplug it. We'll see if we catch it in time, eh? See, you caught it in time. It'll go permanently red if you leave it on for long enough. And it turns the coils off. You caught it in time. It does it 20 times.
There's something wrong with this.
You think there's something wrong with that coil?
Yep. Not my wiring.
No, it's not your worry. So that's how the PDM works. It comes up with there as a fault. Really cool little unit. If I have the laptop attached, it'll tell me stuff as well. So I'm going to set up the CAN streams to make these big wires go. I've got to work out which ones are which. I'm just going to turn them on, manually turn them on with the PDM, and then I'll set them up. And I'm going to set up this fella, because we probably should run that fella. Oh, and these coils, don't stress that these coils aren't actually going with this job. We're putting a set of 3UZ coils in. The Link's bringing up a fault as well.
Problem is it's not configured properly.
Probably because it's not configured. I've got to work out all the wiring you've done on this, the multiple wires. Did you put it in here? Well, here it is there. Jason could be a doctor with his writing. It actually beats mine. Your writing is far worse than mine even.
Yeah.
You'd be more of a doctor than I could be.
So it's either going to be the grey or the blue wire for the scissors. Good luck.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah.
I think I've been doing this long enough and working with you long enough, I kind of can work out what you've done most of the time. And I didn't even blame you for the coil, okay?
You tried to.
No, I didn't. I knew straight away. I just double checked the power wires. And then I'm like, nah, it can't be the wiring. It's got to be the coils. Woo! It's a goodie, Jace. You can do your finishy thing now. I'm all happy. Right, it's a runner. I did a big swap around with the tune today and put something more suitable in it. I'm much more happy with it. And it's actually one of my tunes and not a customer's tune that they sent me. And I think I know why that customer was having problems with their tune too now, because it wasn't pleasant. Lots of weird stuff in it. This one is much better. It runs a heap better, so I'm much more happy. That's good English. I've actually been running it with the injectors that we intend to use on this job, with the coils we tend to use in this job. So all the parts that we intend to use have actually been tested on this job. I just don't have the supercharger that we need. So I've got a bit of paperwork to sort. Jason's going to finish the car that he's working on, and he's going to finish this loom. A couple of notes, there's a couple of blanking plugs to put in, and there's another little wiring loom for the can, so because it goes to 2 can lambdas. And then this one can go in a box and go to Waiuku. It's actually going to New Zealand, which is really cool, and it'll be another job ticked off that customer's list.